Ray is my last name. So first of all, Rachel is what they were thinking because Rachel Ray, yeah. And I'll take it from here. But I think that there's something about my special. You grab it, you twist it, you bop it. You've seen the commercials, dog. You want to tone it down a notch? Girls love to know, I wonder how many different ways I could be stabbed right now. Oh, my bad. He said, my bad, after he threw up into his mouth. She's like, why is your nose bleeding? I was like, oh. During a visit to a strip club in Amsterdam. Yeah. I don't know if I should keep reading.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You're that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean once again today. It is the return of Adam Ray. Ooh. He's here in the studio.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Wearing Kyrie Irving's shoes.
Took him off for a bit when Kyrie said Jews
will not replace us. What did he say? What did he really say?
He retweeted a Nazi doc, which, hey, man, who hasn't? But he did it early morning when everyone was online, so everybody saw it. And he got a couple of retweets.
Yeah.
Big people noticed it. I think, so many things are lost in translation. I don't even know what the documentary was, but it was people jumped on it and were like, Kyrie hates Jews. And then he said something about, I think he doubled down and was like, something black people. It got weird. So then I was like, and I'll put on the Sean Kemp's again. And then he took out a gun in a mall parking lot in Tacoma, and I was like, and we're going to the Vlade Divac flip-flops. Because
you gotta keep switching it up, dude.
Bro,
these athletes are making it hard for you to just wear shoes.
Dude, I know.
Barefoot, dude. Go barefoot.
I could. There was a kid in my high school. His name, actually, I'm going to let you guess what his name was.
Is this like a Theo bit? There was this one dude, man. He used to go barefoot. He'd walk on glass in front of us, dude.
Yo, man, we called him Crinkly Toe Jim,
You know
man.
Crinkly Toes?
Crinkly Toes, but that's just because he had he had arthritis at age 10.
Yeah, man.
But actually, that's because his dad was a goat, but... Anyway, man, that's what it is.
Who's the kid in high school you're going to say? Somebody walk around
barefoot? I want you to
barefoot?
guess his name, but he was barefoot, and he was tall, and he was my first taste of a hippie kid. I'm in high school. This kid's 6'5", long golden hair.
Chode Donaldson.
Not far. Give me, how do we do this?
Nifkin,
starts with an
Millersville.
O. Starts with an O. No, I want you to think cool.
O'Reilly. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
That was him, man. No shoes, O'Reilly.
Yeah.
No,
his name was.
He wore a flannel with no shirt, necklaces, no shoes, long like hippie pants, and he had long hair, and he fucked everybody.
Yeah, he's
Say
the
it with
man.
me, including the teachers.
He's the man. This guy.
Orion.
What a cool dude.
And he was so.
Where is he now? Where are they now?
Can I tell you something? I was just talking about this the other day. I want to do a Where Are They Now? High school,
yeah.
The amount of people, and last time I was on my favorite pod, Whiskey Ginge, I was mentioning stories from the past, and you always bust my balls because you're like, saying the full name again. And I'm like,
yeah, you gotta.
I always say the full name. And if I knew Orion's last name, I would pimp him out. But there are so many people that I end up bringing up, and I'm like, I can't find him on Facebook. Yeah. There was a girl named Jenny Taylor, shout out, in 4th grade. Her parents were scientists that came in to teach a science lesson twice a year. And one of them looked like David the Gnome. Google it if you don't. A tiny little elfy man with a beard and even talked like a little gnome. And the mom was gnome-esque as well. And they were both like 5 feet tall, just a 1.5 Brad Williams. And Jenny thought she was a cat. Right. I don't know what they fed her, probably kibbles and bits. And she, in class, I'd say 2 hours out of every school day, would out of nowhere, or the teacher would call on her and she'd go, and just wouldn't answer back. And then one day she scratched R.I.P. Mrs. McQuay, and I've never laughed harder since.
She killed Mrs. McQuay?
Scratched.
Just from a scratch.
Oh, no, sorry. R.I.P. I said R.I.P.
Separate
before
these things, Adam. You can't do that. People think you scratched her to death.
I mean, It would be very fucked.
A student just scratching someone to death.
But imagine seeing a kid. I'm in 5th grade. It was a 4th-5th split. She's in 4th grade. And it's again, the same way Orion was my first taste of a hippie kid in high school that fucked everybody. You know, here I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to be, hey, maybe I'll do jokes or memorize an NSYNC dance to perform at the dance with my Filipino friend, right? And here comes Jenny Taylor acting like a fucking house pet. And I'd never seen that.
Was she attractive? Were you attracted to Jenny Taylor?
No, well, I'm not a cat guy, first of all.
Really?
No. Dude,
But you're a cat guy girl. I'm a cat guy girl.
I'm a
cat guy girl.
I'm a cat woman guy.
I said it wrong, and I'm still going to stick with it. I'm a cat guy girl.
What does that mean?
I'm a cat guy if you're a girl,
Yes.
but not if you're a cat. I'm not a cat guy. I'm a
No.
cat guy girl.
Okay.
She's a cat girl. I like it.
Who are you voting for? I think if there's something
In 2024? I better believe you know. I think you know who I'm voting for, dude.
I do
John
think
Kerry. Run again.
Why
Is he
not?
dead?
he might be close to it.
Damn, dude. I just thought about that in RIP. And sometimes
No, we would have heard about it. That's
when
a
I
guy
say
that was
stuff on these shows, sometimes people do die right after we mention their. John Kerry is 80 years old, still alive.
Good for
Still
him.
alive.
There's a lot of people at 80 right now that are clicking and ticking. Shout out to my stepdad George, 81. Shout out to my real dad, Lance
81
Ray.
years old.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And my dad's 80. Well, did take a spill. He's in patient rehab, doing his best. But I will say this about cats real quick, and I know you have a sweet pup. Dogs, if they somehow are lucky enough to watch you fuck, and you lock eyes with them, which I'd love to, it's adorable. They're confused. They don't really know what's going on. So I can lock eyes for a minute and not be too phased. A cat, and this has not happened, I'm assuming because they're so judgmental to begin with. I think if you looked over and you saw a cat looking at you fucking, they'd be like, you think she likes this? Dude, look at the face you're making. You sick fuck. I'm going to eat you when you go to sleep because cats are
She would just slowly walk by and go, smell. You're like, shit.
Yeah. She's making fun of my TikTok.
Small.
Babe, she was meowing. She meowed and she pointed to it.
So,
You're high.
okay, yes, but.
Meow, dick.
By the way, tried to take like a 50 milligram Eddie one time to knock out. Couldn't sleep. You know, I don't get great sleep.
Me neither.
Took one, just pet the dog. I was just petting the dog for like 5 hours. I'm not kidding. I was just petting the dog.
Sounds incredible.
Couldn't go to bed. I know it was, but I was like, I'm not going to sleep. I'm just going to pet the dog. And I just was like playing with her, thinking, talking to her. I would talk to her. Full conversations.
Wait, 50 milligrams?
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah, I did 80 once and was this close to calling cedar cyanide to pick me up.
Yeah, I've only done a 50 like that like a few times in my life. I don't like that. I think anything over 20 is not necessary.
I'm a sweet 5 to 10. If I really want to just kind of zone out.
20 if I want to get fucking wrecked. If I
Yeah.
want to get baked, I'll do that.
My wife took me to Zach Bryan, country singer.
yeah, dude.
At the, never seen him. Ripped.
Yeah, he's super talented.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And know what's crazy? She's like, he cheated on his girlfriend or wife, but like, it's just flourishing. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, he's got like a cool goatee, sleeveless shirt on stage. He's ripping it. Looks like a dude that I wouldn't not buy that from, but also I'm like, seems like a guy that would overcome that, you know? And
Would
also, I
pull.
don't know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
Just a cool guy. There's cool. I mean, think about any show. We were talking about this the other day. So many cool TV shows that we've seen in the last couple of years, and I go, do you realize that most of them involve some sort of infidelity? And it depends on how likable the character is that you're rooting them on, you know?
Yeah,
that's like
any
rom-com.
That feels like every episode of the Kardashians, though.
Yes.
It's like the social, drama. Everyone's obsessed with like public drama. Oh, fuck. We want to see things.
We love
shatter.
gossip and drama. Isn't that wild? We love the feel good stories. You see, I'll go down these dark rabbit holes, dude. I got fucking cried for probably. You want to talk about petting a dog? I was wiping tears away for probably 2 hours.
Why?
On a little Eddie, late at night, couldn't sleep. Went down rabbit holes of, first of all, it was 9/11 conspiracy videos. Swiped that away.
Love.
Swiped that away to soldiers coming home early to surprise their kids.
Love.
And when you're baked and you see like a guy dressed as like a bobcat and this kid's playing the cello, and you're like, turn around, Caleb, your dad's back from Iraq, and surprise, he's also a bobcat. And then he takes off the bobcat thing, and the kid's like, ah! And then he's like, Dad, and they fucking cry, or at basketball games or wherever, or these ones are now getting me. And probably because being a child of divorce and my sister being adopted, which, by the way, I used to, and we just talked about this, and I'll get back to that in a second. When my sister and I used to fight a lot, I used to throw her being adopted in her face a lot. She goes, "Do you remember doing that?" I go, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And
you were adopted.
And you were adopted.
Yeah,
So it wasn't new information.
Sorry about that. And I'm not sorry now that I think about it.
But I said to her, I started doing this bit on stage where I talk about our fights, and I go, yeah, we're good now, but typical sibling rivalry. You know, she'd throw a Ninja Turtle in the toilet. You know, I'd fart in a cup, make her smell it. She'd pass out, wake up, lock me in the garage. I'd escape, lock her in the garage. She'd escape, throw another turtle in the toilet, make fun of me for being a fat kid and having bigger tits than our mom. She was adopted, so I was like, "You mean my mom?" And then that usually was the end of the fight. But what a fucked up thing to do as a kid.
Yeah, mean. But you know, sibling stuff is.
Yeah, but that's a deep, like, I thought she was going to be like, "You call me stupid," or a room smelled.
I used to dislocate my sister's arms all the time.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I would yank on her arm so hard I'd pop it out.
Okay, oh my God. Well, the physical.
When I was playing with her, I would just whip her around and just dislocate her arm. And then one time she got her hand stuck at the VCR, and she was grabbing something, and then she got nervous because it clamped down maybe or something, and she pulled too fast, and then she did it. She was crying, and my dad was like, "Andrew!" I was like, "I didn't do it. This time I didn't do it." Of all times.
Yeah, isn't that so? Kids are resilient.
By the way, the VCR.
The tape was too far back. That's
sticking
why
your hand in there? What are you doing?
That's like, dude, that's like putting your dick in a glory hole that you've never seen before.
Well, fun.
Okay, bad example.
No, it's more like sticking your hand down the sinkerator thing.
Oh, whoa. You're
panic,
like, I think
panic,
the fork's
panic.
down there.
Panic.
Just waiting. Yeah, always subconsciously, you're like, someone's going to come around the corner and go, flip.
You know, in the last place we lived in, we didn't have one of those things, and I actually was like, "Oh man, why don't we have it?" Loved it because we had a little net catcher and threw it away, and I also never had to think about sticking my hand down in the sink. It was it was almost better, and I was like, "Wow, those things are always broken or clogged or screwed up or they smell."
Yeah,
and I thought that's actually old. Sometimes old school is the right school. Sometimes you're like, "Man, the OG version is better."
Well, we all do that. How many times have you had that conversation? I also do think that there is a lot of value in the comparison of like music was better when we came up. Sports were better. Like you look at the NBA now. Yeah, dude, way softer. There's never a fight.
Yeah,
it's pushing. No
it's
one's
just different now. It's so different.
Different. That's a better way to say it.
It's a shooter game. It's just all shoot.
Sitcoms. You go, sitcoms were better. Well, yeah, but we were in the sitcom world. There were less channels.
Right.
We didn't have the money or ability to think bigger than that. Succession, Sopranos, that wasn't. We were looking at fucking Danny Tanner and Steve Urkel. It was
Sopranos was like the first series
that opened it up.
that was like, holy shit! Like you can make like really like cool, deep, dark, artsy, sexy, long form TV. I mean, for me, there was a lot of other things that existed, but
Can I tell you
Sopranos was
something?
the first time I was like, holy shit!
Just started it.
What, in your life? You've never seen Sopranos?
Psych. We got you there. We got you there. We got you there.
Where? Are
You're
these
on
all
my new
cameras?
prank call code. Fuck you, Andrew.
Fuck you, Andrew. Please sign up below to donate to our Fuck You campaign right now.
Operators
Every
are
dollar
standing
donated
by.
is going to fuck me way more. That's the first time you've ever seen it?
I can't get enough.
Wow.
I'm 2 episodes in.
Oh
wow,
my God.
dude. The through line of him in the therapy. Is that the whole show?
Don't give it away.
Spoiler alert.
You might have
Tom Hanks funks Jenny. Well, she's got HIV. And that's how Gump ends.
Is he smart or is he like me?
It's the best.
Cry.
If you want to talk about another cry moment,
Cry.
Anytime it would pop
Give me
on
cry
TBS.
moments in movie. Go. Give me your best cry
Well, that one,
moment.
because he's like, is he smart or is he stupid? And she's like, he's the smartest fucking kid.
He
in the
doesn't say
entire-"
stupid. He says, is he like me?
Yeah, which we didn't want to say, but every sort of burgers and tism. And so, and then he looks up and he's like, I'm watching Bert and Ernie. And he's like, that's my favorite character. and then Haley Joel was like, you always going to talk like that? No. And then they took him to the bus, and then Jenny passed like 2 days later. But yeah, when that moment's a good one. Oh man.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh my God.
I like me.
John Candy.
I like me. My wife likes me. Oh my God, dude. That Rel ripped me every time.
I'll give you another Candy moment.
Yeah. Uncle Buck, no.
Cool Runnings.
Oh, yeah.
The end of that movie, dude, when they fucking
oh
break
my
down.
God.
I'm not joking. Like, I know that's kind of it's a Disney. Those type of Disney movies were so, I don't know, dude, genuine. The story was great.
It was really nice. It was really wholesome.
But Candy adds so much. Dude.
Oh my God.
The guy was beyond his any really. I don't think he was ever acting. I wish there was a biopic or at least some sort of. There's probably a book just about his life. I'd love to see a documentary actually, and hearing all the people that knew and loved him talk about him. And sometimes when there hasn't been one, part of me starts to wander down this road of like, oh, was he just like a wife? But like,
No, he was a good dude.
He was.
Yeah,
But
he was a good dude
then
because
why haven't people come out to really?
I mean, some things you gotta let sleeping dogs lie. You know,
guess.
like some things are so. I think sometimes you're like, why are we doing this? Just leave it alone. It was so nice how it was.
What are you
It's
gonna
like it's the same thing with with Farley. It's almost like leave it alone.
I was just gonna say,
so
man,
great. I know-
Paul's unbelievable, and he's gonna probably dump everything he's got into that, and but man, but you're right. My initial thought was like, oh,
Yeah, because
there's some where you're just like, how do you? I don't know if you can really win there. It's
the legend is bigger than the story, so it's like we already feel a type of way about it. It's hard to retroactively be like redrumming up the fantasy you already have about somebody.
Yes.
I know Candy's son is a great dude, Chris.
Chris Candy.
Yeah, and he's a great dude, cool dude, funny.
Sounds
actor.
like Wonka's competitor.
It is. And his brother Steve Chips.
Steve Chips.
Yeah, Steve
the
Chips.
inventor of all potato chips.
Well, not all, but most, to be honest with you.
Can I tell you something real quick? Business class, senior year of high school. We had a Vietnam War vet named Mr. Moore, and he was a short little guy with beard, glasses, just walking around. All right. Great businessman. He would always throw out extra credit. He loved to just give out extra credit. And he'd go, great business. First of all, Vietnam War vet. He would face the class like I am now. The door to enter the class was behind him, and people would always come in during the class to give like a note to the teacher. And he broke a kid's nose because the kid tapped him on the shoulder, and he goes, watch out! And the goose was like, what the fuck? He's like, what did I tell you about coming up behind me? Vietnam War, man, Vietnam War. Another day in class, the kid was clicking his pen. Sounded like somebody was loading a fucking gun. He just goes, what the fuck is that? And then his kid Josh was like that. And then Mr. Moore goes, God fucking. And just walks out, and I look over at Josh. I go, "Good one, Josh." Kid starts crying. Fucking
Way to go, Adam.
Yeah, I know, dude. And then the last one was my buddy Dale Tan, Asian kid, took a picture in class, and he screams, "Fucking Charlie!" and walks out of the fucking
Charlie?
room. Yeah, dude.
Well-
and walks out of the room.
Can't drum it up. You can't do that.
You can't do that. The writing's on the wall. But he would do this thing with extra credit. He'd go, famous businessman. Who do we got? And he'd say somebody like, Warren
Buffett.
Warren Buffett. And then the guy who created McDonald's is
Ray Kroc.
Yeah. And so we'd say those, and then I just start going, Mark Costco, 10 points. Adam Ray. John Payless shoes. Adam Ray, 20 points. Alan Baskin and Steve Robbins. Adam Ray on fire, 3 in a row. And it was, and I'm just looking over my best bud Adam French is like, dude.
Oh, you're getting
keep
points for
going.
creativity no matter what. Yeah.
Kim Jamba Juice. Adam Ray.
Adam Ray.
Doesn't stop, won't stop, can't stop.
Tammy Target. And if he stops you, he goes, she did not start
She did not
Target.
start
they
that.
acquired it.
Funny,
That was just a
dude.
coincidence.
Yeah. You got to, check your facts.
Yeah, check your facts, Adam Ray.
But there is, I think the like biopic stuff, better chance to get it made if it's more in the past, right? Because we have seen less, know less. Like Muhammad Ali. Like I just feel like more people are probably like, oh yeah, I want to see what that life was like. Farley,
We've seen so much
Yeah,
of it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're going to dig up a lot of great stuff. I was going to say, Candy, what's wild is.
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No. When sometimes, I've only hung with him a few times, and he's friends with a couple other people I know. And but when I do, there are a couple of moments that I look at him and I'll go, "Oh man, it's just like you look just like your dad." But I would never
Awesome.
say it. I can't say it
That's so cool.
because it's a
dude.
weird thing to say. But he will look exactly like a movement or a thing, and I'm like, holy shit.
Bro, that's so awesome.
It's kind of wild.
Norm Macdonald's son has that. I saw him, a clip of him accepting an award on Norm's behalf at a Canadian, Emmys or something. And it was a weird award, though, or not even Canadian Emmys, like just an award show that was,
He's like, I like it. I love it.
Have you seen this kid at all?
Uh-uh.
He is a carbon copy, and it's awesome, and it's really kind of emotional
How
to
old
watch.
is he?
I want to say 24, 25, maybe.
Mid-20s, yeah.
And he goes, accepting this award for the Donnie Chipper Comedy Award. I always remember before my dad died, he said, "God, I wish too bad I never got to win a Donnie Chipper Award." And just kind of start shitting on the whole thing.
Just like he would have done.
Oh, it was, and
I have
everyone's
to
dying.
see what he looks like.
Martin Short was there. Like all these Canadian greats were there to like kind of also.
Were you
honor
there?
Norm.
You were present for
No,
this?
I just watched the clip on YouTube.
What's his son's name?
Oh man, I don't know. Fucking old.
His name's old?
Put it together, dude.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Dude, tell me, by the way, as long as I've known you, we've known each other for a long, long time.
Long time.
People may know we've been
Since we both started, I think.
big time since we both started. And
Which is extra cool in just, people don't realize, and I'll let you get to what you're going to say, people don't realize how cool it is from, I mean, I get messages or people come up to me sometimes being like, it's so cool, right?
Yeah, it looks like him.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
About knowing somebody as
Dylan.
long as you have, but being in it. And there's an extra level for us of just really knowing the grind of it. So just an extra respect.
Well,
but
the
also,
history.
The history. But also what's really cool to me is that like talking to you now is no different than when I talked to you when we first started hanging out.
No, it's the same.
It is the same.
Nothing
But then
changed.
just things are cooler and more opportunities and more fun experiences. And
Well, and you're and the growth has been great to watch.
Yeah.
Come here. He's got some. Oh, thank
both
you.
of us?
Look at this. You get a smoothie for him? No, that's for him.
Take
That's
that,
for
take
him.
that.
You've,
If it was
you
a
know
coffee,
what?
I'd suck it down. Is it a boba tea?
No, it's just I didn't eat today.
You're smoothing it.
You know, should I?
No. I mean, bro, I would smoothie over food all day. Actually, that's not true. There's certain foods I need
No,
to eat.
food I need, but I haven't eaten this morning because I've been running around like a madman.
I don't eat probably till the afternoon. I just not hungry till then.
Never in the morning?
Coffee and like an egg just to tide me through. That's enough.
One egg?
All right. 5.
Good boy.
Happy?
You know what's so funny? I'm a 2-egg guy, but then you'll go to a place and they're like, our omelets are made with 3 to 4 eggs. I'm like, cut it out.
Oh, yeah.
Cut it out.
There's a
because I'm going to eat all 4.
I know.
If it's there, but just don't do that.
There's an omelet there's a place called Beth's Diner in Seattle. Man vs. Food did a thing on it. They have one of those. They have an omelet that's like, I think 4 feet or 4 by 4.
What are we talking about?
It's unreal. And I went there after my 10-year high school graduation with 2 of my best buds. And we went there, and it was like 4 a.m., and we made it, and one of them fell asleep sitting up, holding a fork to his mouth. And we got like 1 square, and it was like, and they douse it with hash browns.
Yeah, I can't
It
do
looks
it.
amazing when you're fucked up.
Yeah.
But then you just realize you're a barnyard animal. Just be like, eggs and backgrounds, you know.
That poor man versus food thing. 12 eggs?
You just looked that up?
That's his
My
whole
man.
job. That's the only reason we pay the guy.
Yeah, man versus food. Yeah, and poor Adam Richmond. I hope I get a shirt out of this, you know. And it was just, but dude, he was just sweating.
I mean, he had to quit that because it was so bad for him.
Yeah.
And then some other guy took over.
Morgan Spurlock just died, but I don't think that was related to
I think it was
McDonald's.
cancer.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was cancer.
From the Big Macs.
He was an alcoholic.
That's what like.
Oh fuck, man.
That's what Super Size Me was actually about. If they're like, oh wow.
I had heard he had a trouble. He was struggling with drugs and alcohol. He had said he admitted that before. But did he die from an alcohol-related disease? I thought he died from cancer. I mean, cancer is everything. Cancer is everything.
You're so in right now.
Thank you. Hey,
Yeah.
it's me. I'm cancer. I'm
Hey.
everywhere. You're gonna get me.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, folks. Today's episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Rabbit Hole Distillery, straight from Louisville, Kentucky. These guys are seriously redefining the standards of bourbon. Their motto says it all. No shortcuts. No compromise. Nothing left to chance. Come on. If that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. This means every tiny detail in their whiskey-making process is finely tuned to perfection. It's no wonder their bourbon and rye whiskeys keep racking up the awards they just cleaned up at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, pulling in gold and double golds left and right. Huh? Everywhere you turn, trophies are coming at their face. Here's what really sets them apart. All bourbon is aged in charred barrels, but every drop of Rabbit Hole is aged in charred and toasted barrels. That is special. Think of like toasting like a marshmallow or something like that, drawing out deep, bold, caramelized flavors that make every single sip rich, smooth experience. They're all about keeping things tight and small with these small batches. Only 15 barrels each. That's super rare. That's great. That's how Rabbit Hole ensures every bottle is more than just crafted. It's hand-picked treasure. It's small batch, big flavor. Sip up. If you're looking for the perfect gift, just want to treat yourself, Rabbit Hole stands out as a one-of-a-kind choice. I've been sipping this sauce for quite a while. Talked to you guys about it for quite a while. Big fan. For the price point, one of the best whiskeys on the market, in my opinion, in its price point. It is delicious. It's smooth. It's pure. Let it sit on your tongue for a while. Find out for yourself. Head over to rabbitholedistillery.com. Use that promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. rabbitholedistillery.com. Promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. Treat yourself or someone special to a bourbon that's crafted with passion, not just produced. Dive into the rabbit hole and discover something extraordinary. This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Squarespace. Hey, I've talked about Squarespace so much on this show. What's going on? You must know how much I love it and I use it. I've been using it for a long, long time. Squarespace Blueprint AI and SEO tools can help you build the perfect site. No matter what you're doing, you're selling something, you're promoting yourself, you have a product to sell, or you just want to put yourself out there to the world. Start a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. Choose from a professionally curated layout and styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up, tailored to your brand or business and optimized for every device. Easily launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated, optimized SEO tools so you show up more often to people and grow the way you want. That's the best part. I love it. I really do love using Squarespace so much. What they've created over the years has made it so convenient for me to find out where my clicks are coming from through their analytics. Also, to help out fans if they're buying stuff, you have flexible payment options there. Make checkout seamless for your customers. You can accept credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, all sorts of stuff no matter what you're selling. And with Fluid Engine, the next generation website editor from Squarespace, it's never been easier for anybody to unlock unbreakable creativity. You can really just, change the scope of what websites used to look like. They were all standard. The old days were so funny. I mean, they look like they were all made in Word. But now with Squarespace, you have the ability to do so much and create such a beautiful, seamless website. So if you're looking for that, I don't know where else you would turn other than to Squarespace. You must go. Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial when you're ready to launch. Go to squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace.com. Check it out. Okay? For free. And then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Speaking of DP, Dr. Phil's interviewing Trump, or did, and I think it comes out tonight, and I'm so excited to watch. I did see a clip.
You interviewed Trump?
No, I'm sorry. The real Dr. Phil interviewed Donald Trump.
Dude, I was like,
and
holy
it's
shit.
coming out. I know.
For people that know, everyone on this show probably knows, your Dr. Phil was such a great, fun character that you've now parlayed into something so wonderful. And we all watched it happen, and I thought, oh, he's humming along. He's got something really, really wonderful with that.
He sent me a bunch of really nice texts, which were nice, but also...
Well, I didn't do... My assistant did that, but I'm glad you did get them.
I know. He signed not Andrew.
No, I did. I had it because I wanted to show you love.
And I love you for that, but it also, and you know this, when you get those little boosts from buds that you we don't need it, but we all do without thinking about it. But it gave me
nice.
It gave me a little extra juice of like, I feel like I'm, that all right, cool, I'm on the right path with this,
right.
Because I'm like, I respect you comedically, off stage not so much, but on stage a lot, and so I'm like, all right, cool. If Andy's into it, then I'm
and you're all good.
Yeah, and your episode with Bobby. Look, the one we just did with Sally and Dak Shepard and Rick Glassman and Blake Griffin popped by and did a great bit, and then stayed and partied all night, and we talked about you and the charity event, and I think I'm going to try to pop on that with you guys.
Yes.
And but your episode with Bobby is... There's just no topping it, and I'm sorry. I mean,
that was one of the most fun nights we had. Me and Bob Lee were out there.
It was people. The amount of messages I still get, and it was honestly a turning point in the show because it was the first time I added another element with like Fahim, and it was the first time
that was awesome.
That the show and watching you laugh so hard is like one of my favorite things.
Well, Fahim,
you had no idea what that was going to look like.
Fahim's one of those guys. He can really he can make me laugh harder than almost any comedian in the business.
That's
He's
awesome.
Unbelievably talented.
But having that, and then the way that like we brought a guy up on stage and the kiss.
Then you smoked a huge joint
and I smoked
on stage.
a joint, which I'd never done.
Yeah.
And then the rap battle.
Yeah, it was great.
So there was just it made me go, oh, that's what this show is. Dude.
Yeah.
I already was open to like no rules. It goes how it goes. I'm driving. I always say to people, I don't give any prep because people would ask questions. Even Dax, I'd never met, so we chatted for a bit backstage so I could get let him know, like get a sense of my vibe.
Sure.
And he did well, but we never had 3 guests on at the same time too, which was a challenge. And really listening and divvying up and trying to let everybody be themselves, but also I'm still, we were all figuring it out. As Sal and Rick know each other, Sal and Rick and Dax, but Sal. So it was new, kind of just finding that rhythm, But now knowing like, okay, cool, like each show is going to have, like the next one's, and we also had Justin Willman on this last show, the Comedy
cool.
Magician.
Yeah, he's
so
great.
he opened with, unreal, dude.
Yeah.
Staff is losing their mind. I mean, and so many people, fans of him. Next show is Howie Mandel and Nick Swartz, and I haven't announced this yet, but now I am. And John Kite is going to play Jeff Bridges, full-on prosthetic.
Cool.
And Mark Summers, the host of Double Dare, is coming
Whoa!
to do a whole Double Dare
well,
thing.
be careful, don't get slimed.
Because it's jizz.
Mm-hmm.
The slime, as we know from watching the Nickelodeon documentary.
Yeah. If anything was revealed on that whole thing.
And I also want to say I think the Bad Friends episode with Phil is up to 55 billion views.
Is it really? How many views does that do? No. What is it really?
Real quick, it jumped to 1 mil. Real quick.
Oh, really?
I was watching that shit.
You know what's so funny? I never watch the things back because if we live inside of them, I want to remember them how they were.
I am the exact same way.
Yeah. Oh, 1.8. Wow.
Pretty good, right?
That's really
For how
good.
many months ago?
5 months.
Wow.
Okay. And it was the first time too that I did a intimate filth.
I really liked it. I really like it. I like that you've done the character. I hope you're going to tour around the country with it or what?
Probably in 2 weeks announcing.
Well, you can announce it now. This will come out in 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know. We haven't locked it. I've gotten
Well,
pitched.
just say it. Who gives a shit?
So I believe there'll be a Dr. Phil live theater tour, and I believe Chicago Theater is on the.
Let's
which
go.
I'm gonna do everything in my power to fly out for.
Where do you know when it's going to be? Maybe Chicago Theater?
Fall. Everything's gonna be in the fall.
This fall, yeah.
It's gonna be like a Friday and Saturday. I think 2 months, 2 weeks out of the month, and they're going for it. These promoters, a bunch of them. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the show exists at the store, and the intimacy of it there is so beautiful. And the staff gets jacked up for it. I feel like I'm taken care of. We got dialed in with the sound and audio that's spatially, conducive for my guys that film it. It's easy. Jelly Roll never been to the Comedy Store. Blake had once, but there's a cool thing there where I'm bringing in people. It's not the reason they're coming, but it's added to like.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll was like, holy shit. Pauly came on, took him around, gave him a tour. That's extra cool for me, man. Where it's like, oh, and just the magic of the store, working there, being there for so long. It's never lost me on the main room stage too. That I'm like, have created a show now that is so fun, flexing as many of the tools as I've honed or whatever. But also it's like, dude, I remember when I first would come through and I was like, fucking Robin Williams and his Comedy Store players there. Not obviously Chappelle and Pryor specials. I don't know, man. It's just that main room is just always so like, whoa to me. And I know I'll fall into weeks and months probably like anybody of taking it for granted and just being like running in, doing your spot. But more often than not, I'll try to really like, if I'm sitting around and hanging, like looking around being like, the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, but it's nice to be reflective. You need those moments. But truth be told, it's.
But the show hopefully is gonna
it
be a
speaks for
little
itself.
part of like a little. People fly out for it, man. It's wild, dude. But it's cool, and you know this because I mean you're a enormous example of this of creating your own good luck, but also creating something that is yours. You know,
Yeah.
To where it's like, and I think I said that to you when we were talking about some money stuff, and it was like, it's cool that all these people. Like that you and Bobby wanted to jump on so quick was huge for the show.
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys are a fucking force.
Well, I mean, you're my boy.
Totally, but you
I
also
was
knew-
also like, this is going to be so much fun with me and that idiot.
And now, but that type of shit, the amount of people that hit me up that I really respect that know and sometimes don't know because of seeing that, we're like, all right, like that I had bugged, we're like, wow, I just watched, like sorry I didn't get back to you. So down.
Oh,
that
cool.
looks unreal. That looks so fun.
Well, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
We did our part because I
1000.
wanted to go and have fun. I was like, I just now in my career, all I want to do is have more fun. I just want to have more fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to do things that I want to do, and I don't want to do things anymore I don't really want to do.
Bro, that's why I started doing the show.
Yeah,
I
was
was
like, you wanna
losing
do it.
joy, not for the business, but I was just not, and I've talked about this with you sometimes. At the time when we were making videos, when you were doing Dunkin' Rocks, I'm doing sketches.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was such a fulfilling time because it was like, man, creating shit from the ground up, getting to like, no rules.
There's no rules.
Yeah, and trying to really find your way and figure out what you're doing. And it's like, that's what I was like, fuck, I just got to, strike was going on and it was like, I'm doing stand-up all the time. And not that I'm getting burnt out, but I'm just like, it's getting monotonous.
Yeah.
And like you, knowing that I have other skills to bring and the stage is what you make of it. So it's like, you guys with your bad friends too. I mean, look at that. It's like, there's so many things to do and why get settled into like, I'm just a comic or whatever. And it's like, I'm not. And so.
No, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
there's a difference. You're not just a comic, you're a comedian.
Right.
I like to touch a few bases. I like to character stuff is fun and get it. It's really it's when you get to explore, it's the best version of it. When you're like, I get to explore.
Yeah.
Like I get to explore.
Yeah.
They're exploring, as an audience, but it's so nice that when you get to explore and you're not just kind of giving them, it's almost like you used to do tours at Universal.
Yeah.
It's like you're not giving them the same tour. You get to fucking
Totally
change it up and you get to lie about who lives in that building. No, Spielberg actually sleeps inside there.
Oh, okay. Did you take my tour?
Yeah.
The amount of times I got busted from bosses secretly riding my tram, being like, you gotta stop saying that Kurt Rambis filmed Escape from L.A. It's Kurt Russell. And I was like, nobody cares.
No, but he was playing basketball in the morning, and then he filmed in the afternoon.
Or I would say, I mean, the biggest thing is when I freaked out at Jaws and made like a 10-year-old girl cry because I was fresh out of BFA acting school from USC, and I was like, sweet mother of God! Rip my sunglasses off, jump out of the tram, would get close to going into the water, and I'm like, Steve, and I come back, and one day, dude, I don't know how, I think I just was, hopped up on my own adrenaline, fucking produced like some tears, and I get back on the tram, and they had just installed cameras that are on you, and so I'm fucking sitting there, I'm like, well, this was supposed to be a fun tour.
Ruining a child's vacation.
On your right is Wisteria Lane where the Desperate Housewives live. I can't do this. And I walk in, and then I just hear this kid, and then I hear this dad look up, and he goes, hey, man. And I was like, okay, he just knew that. He's like, hey, actor boy.
Yeah, slow down.
Enough with the bitch.
Slow it down. Just bawling. There's the Friends fountain. Anybody want to jump in?
Oh, my God, yeah. Anytime buddies would ride the tram, I'd always, like, make up movies that were, like, almost like erotic films and say they started them over there. That's where Kramer jumped in the tank in Seinfeld, and that tank was also used for Deep Throat 6 starring Josh Piley. That's for him, his buddies. A few people who just got it were like,
by the way, he's on a book tour right now. I just saw a couple of interviews. Did you see these? Kramer's. Yeah. I think it's a book tour. I'm almost positive. But he did like The View or something like that. Didn't he just do The View?
Andrew, I'm sorry, dude.
The interviews are...
The video will live in infamy, and you can't come back from it. Hey, you said the N-word.
Not once, not twice, but three times.
And you screamed it to the street. You screamed it on the street, and you pointed to the feet, and you said the N-word.
You said the N-word.
And you meant it.
Is he on a book tour? Yeah. You know what's so harmful about that? Yeah, and he does that.
Dude, and then
playing a character.
How about when he goes on Letterman? And Jerry's like,
well, that was funny.
He wants to apologize.
Yeah.
And Dave goes, and
this is not funny.
Letterman didn't give a fuck. He's like, this is great TV. So he's like, Michael, how are you? And he goes, I've been better, Dave. And Dave goes, I
bet so.
Yeah, I bet you have. What a week, huh?
Yeah.
The best part of that video too, Fraser Smith getting up right after Michael drops the N-bombs and walks off stage, and Fraser goes, all right, how about that, guys?
These are the jokes.
Can I tell you a quick story? So funny. A week earlier, I met Michael Richards at the Belly Room. Stop me if I've told this story before. I don't think I have. He's in the Belly Room just getting back into stand-up. I walk back there, Belly Room of the Comedy Store. It's a bringer show. I'm about, I don't know, what, can you mind looking up the year that, I think it was, I want to say I was 4 to 5 years
You found
in.
a joke book, it just said say N-word in it over and over and over.
Well, it was my joke book, and he was like, do you mind if I borrow this?
Well, then who'd you get that from? From me. I learned it from you, Dad.
And so he...
November 17th, 2006.
Started stand-up 2 months into this.
That was when he did the video? That was when the thing came out? God, that was so long ago.
Wild, dude. So he's in there.
Still can't recover from that. That's crazy, dude.
No.
That's so long ago.
Let me ask you this. If it was just if there was no video proof and it was an article and it was like, hearsay and it was like he did this, I've been trying to rack my brain about, does it have the same impact? Because then people are just like, nah, the video is so alarming.
It's just so hard to watch.
And it wasn't one. He doubled down. That's where my stomach goes, oh. And then he starts walking around and the guy's screaming back, being like, that's not cool. And the guy sounds like
not cool.
And the guy sounds like
uh-oh, careful. You weren't going to do it, were you?
Oh,
Jesus, Adam.
I mean, for comedy's sake, very funny if I had just done that without actually. But hey, I know how to read the room.
He should put a special called "Read the Room."
That was my first special. It's on YouTube.
He should call his special "Read the Room."
That's so funny. He really should. Or oops. So he's in the green room, and I go, holy shit, what's up, man? He goes, hi, how are you? Wow. And I go, dude, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I did gonna do stand up on the show tonight. I go, awesome. You getting back into it? He goes, yeah, I started stand up. I go, yeah, you started stand up. It's kind of how you got going, right? He goes, started stand up. Did a show called Fridays, and then I got on this sitcom, and that kind of did well. It took me out of it for a while, and I go, what sitcom was that? He goes, oh, it was a show called Seinfeld. I go, dude, I'm fucking with you. I'm sorry. Amazing. Dude, this is wild that you're here right now. You were my favorite part of the show. No joke.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, dude, he was unreal on that show.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Goes up. He's like, I don't really. Oh, I go. Just working out some material. Yeah. He goes, I don't really have an act. And I go, bing bong, goes the racism. Bing bong, here it comes. And I go,
Should I talk about the Jews? Talk about the Mexicans?
He starts running all this by me. So he goes up there and slaughters for about 15 minutes. 2 drunk girls in the front, does crowd work with them, berates them. It's fun. He's doing crazy.
Yep.
You know, you guys driving home? Yeah. Yeah, unless you want to come with us. You go, oh boy.
Oh, that's great.
Crushing, dude. And I'm like, wow, dude. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm watching the early days of Michael Richards getting back into stand-up and who knows what, but this is exciting. That's why I remember walking away from.
You took away a little bit of your shine at that night, and you put on that N-word hex on him. You're like, say the N-word at your next show.
Well, he did ask me before he went up. He goes, "What should I talk about?" I go, "Speak from the heart, dude. Whenever you're pushed up against a wall, say what you want.
Say what you mean.
Say what you mean, but mean what you say." Mm-hmm. So literally a week, maybe 2 later, and I'm just like, and I remember, I told a few buddies that, oh shit, I met Michael Richards, and they're all hitting me up, being like, dude, what'd you tell him? Because that was it. That was, I mean, and that was also the beginning of TMZ, man.
How funny.
They could not have.
Oh my God,
were they
chewed that
sitting
up.
around waiting for a video like that, or do you think they were like, now that we have this?
How did somebody get a video of it in the first place? It wasn't from the factory. Somebody recorded it
on like a flip phone, dude.
What are the chances?
This was pre-iPhone too, right? No.
2006 was just when the iPhone 1 came out, like 05.
But it was not. But it was grainy footage. It was not clear.
No, it wasn't
crystal.
good. Would have been great if you sat in the room with him really quiet, didn't say anything to him, and then finally you just go, hard R, huh? You gonna hard R it?
Hard R. I have a new joke about my dog Pickle. She barks anytime there's black people on stage, and I told my buddy, I go, fuck, I think she's racist. And I go, she also barks at like dogs, but to me, I'm just like, she's jealous she didn't get to read for that part. But when she barks at black people, he goes, dude, it's probably just coincidence. I go, she barks with a hard R.
yeah, we can tell. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. How
she really does, by the way. Your dog is racist. Every time I'm around her, I'm always like, that's a racist dog. But that's why I love her.
how are you? How do all the dates go? Or do you still have more coming up?
I've only got one more. San Francisco. I did 6 clubs, and then I'm going to do theaters in the fall. A big fall theater tour.
Right up into shooting it.
Right up into shooting the special. Yeah.
How do you feel? It's nice to take your time with it, isn't it?
I wanted to. I just want to peel through it the way I want to peel through it. There's stuff that I want to like manipulate more and all that stuff. And
how do you know? How do you know when you're? And this is a question I get asked a lot from non-comics. You don't. They're like, how do you know when you're done? I'm like, bro, there's stuff I can't help but keep playing with. It's on my special.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Dropping June 16th. Sorry, it's out now.
It's out right now. Please watch the special out right now. It's on the YouTube.
It's on my YouTube, youtube.com/AdamRayComedy. Like and subscribe. Filmed at Comedy on State in Madison, Wisconsin.
One of the best clubs that have ever existed.
Oh, yeah, baby. Shout out to them. Shout out to Jesse, who directed it. Shout out to Madison, the whole staff at Comedy on State, 800-pound, helped me get it going. Very proud of it. Puddin introduces me up top. Mama Ray's up there.
Yeah,
and but there's stuff from that I can't help but like, in not the same bit, but where I'm like, man, now if
it's a piece.
It'd be a great complimentary piece. But can find a way to work it elsewhere. But you just don't know, man.
No,
you don't. I guess you just maybe having the deadline of the special. Yeah,
I think you kind of know when you need to put something to bed. Like, oh, I think I'm done doing it, and I just kind of want it to stop. But you could always keep playing with something. I mean, this is like if someone who's a painter, if you're talking to someone who like paints, they could keep adding shit forever if they want. At some point, you have to stop and just go, okay, I can't.
Yep.
I can't keep doing this, otherwise I'm gonna, go
Unless
nuts.
you're Bob Ross. He could have painted trees until he passed away.
Yeah, but he wouldn't paint a tree and then go back to the tree. Once he painted the tree, it was done.
Do you think he fucked like that? Do you think he was like, I'm just gonna eat your little pussy right here? I'm just
Happy little pussy.
A couple little fingers right here.
Happy little pussy.
I put a fist in. That might be a thumb or my
Ooh, is that a
toe.
bird?
Is that hoo-hoo?
She's like, Bob, please, just
stop.
pound me.
Just
Will you just pound me,
dude,
Bob?
Come on, just flip me over. Put on the strap on.
That documentary about him was miserable.
Oh.
It made me so sad.
Why?
Because they stole from him. They
Who
stole
did?
tons of money from him. This like the people that kind of were his producers. I don't remember their names.
Oh, that's so fucking sad.
Yeah, they like all but like left that guy with like right. They were like.
Because there's no way that's.
What is it? What are their names? It was like a couple. Yeah, and they had all his they had the rights to all of his shit and all that stuff.
Well, because there's no way that that's a character. So that makes me feel
No, that
worse.
was him.
Because there's no way that he was like, oh, paint a little couple mountains right here, and then I'll finish up. We'll see you next week. Sesame Street's coming up next. PBS, the home of perfectly balanced shows. I hope that's what it stands for. I'll see you next week, everybody. Cut. Jesus fucking Christ. I have to shit like a fucking Jew. You know, and they're like, boy, Bob, cameras are still rolling, man. We're trying to get some B-roll for the intro.
Bob, will you stop? That's like that guy.
Fuck you, Andrew. By the way, your mom called last night.
Oh, no, wait, did she seriously?
Yeah, she asked me for a titty fuck.
Whoa.
I told her I'd paint one for her instead.
Thank you, Bob.
I'm not into fat tits.
Have you seen the guy that does the Winnebago videos that loses his mind? That guy's like one of the funniest characters. Have you seen this guy?
Oh.
Look up Winnebago, the Winnebago guy.
Andrew.
He's like trying to sell Winnebagos.
Look at the smile on my face.
And he's like, that's a fucking piece of shit. He loses his mind, dude. He's like, and it doesn't even fucking work. He's like kicking the fucking, it's so funny.
It's so funny.
That is exactly the guy, though, who's like an infomercial guy who behind the scenes. But no, they say Bob Ross was that guy. He was him.
What a bummer, dude.
He was him.
He was him.
He was him.
That's a guy
was
that
him.
I'd watch you said there was a doc on him?
On Bob Ross. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
I guess you couldn't do a biopic. It's not interesting enough, right? Or would it? I mean, unless there was.
What? On what?
Bob Ross.
No, they did kind of do
A
like
biopic, not a doc.
What was it?
Docs on Netflix. Bob Ross, Happy Accidents.
Happy Accidents.
Ha-
That's right.
oh.
Betrayal and greed.
See, and that, but you need that. You know what I want to do is a doc like that, but a fake doc about Chef Boyardee, and I actually made a fake poster for it, and was like, "Would you guys watch this?" Oh, the engagement, the comments, the likes, to where, and it was me in a full fucking Italian word, because I did this thing my senior at USC. We had a dance class, right? That we had to do a presentation for our final that was it was a movement. It was a movement class, and so I did this thing. It was no rules, open door policy, and so I came with this idea to do. I had all this voiceover, and I had it was like inner thoughts of Chef Boyardee. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Smoke pot much in college?
Yeah.
And so I dressed up in full fucking chef. I wake up and I just have a tape playing of and there's like soft piano music and hear rain. And every morning I wake up and look out the window, dreaming of my next ravioli concoction. my wife is dead. My kids or whatever. And it was all singing. I look out the window and it was just like a weird but I was moving. But it was a lot of waking up, stretching,
Right.
and then I would do like a weird dance across the floor to the kitchen. I go, oh yes, and by the way, I danced to the fridge. And it was just and all my buddies in the class are laughing. Movement teacher's like F, and no, she gave me like a C. And but he is another guy that there is some greed and money and like family type of shit. And also in doing it, I looked up, I'm like, oh, there's enough about him out there about, being this Italian guy and getting in and then the creation of it, but so truly little info to where I'm like, oh, the creative freedom here is through the roof.
Yeah, you should do. You just gotta be careful if it toes that line of like what Seinfeld just did. What was that called?
The Pop-Tart movie. This would be a
unfrosted.
No.
Yeah.
This
Did you
would
see
be-
that movie?
Yeah.
Are you afraid? You can say it.
Yeah, it was
Say it. Go ahead.
it was
Say it. Go ahead. Go ahead. And
It
say
was entertaining. And I love that every moment was somebody that I really enjoy comedically.
Yeah.
Beck Bennett crushed. Tom Lennon was great.
Yeah.
All the SNL guys for the Snap Crackle Pop. Schumer was funny. Bill Burr was great. But it was just a little too campy for me.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's it. And also I guess I would have loved a more Michael Keaton in The Founder. Ooh, baby.
Oh.
If you're going to do a movie about, and shout out to Rob Siegel who wrote that, the guy who put me in Pam and Tommy and Chippendales. He nailed that.
Yeah.
And I thought the tone of that was great. Yeah. That's how I want to see a fast food or a snack movie. So that it would be more like that. Because then Mario Lopez did that, I think, Lifetime, the Colonel for KFC movie.
No, I never saw that.
Me neither, but I saw a thing for it, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a real jokey type thing. Now, I would want this to be like a dark comedy,
Right.
but funny still.
Chef Boyardee went and murdered someone the night he actually...
Maybe he saw his dad. Maybe, what's the movie? Is it Analyze This? Wow. That, right? I think that...
Well, Analyze That, yeah.
Where he sees, right, his dad murdered in the restaurant. Isn't that De Niro, and that's why he needs therapy? I think Billy Crystal
that
finds
what it
that
was?
out.
Yeah.
I think I'm not too
Yeah,
far off.
I don't remember.
So maybe it's like, maybe he saw that. Maybe he's older. Maybe his kid goes on a search to find him because he hears this. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, the lore of him, and
Yeah.
he's camped up somewhere in Italy.
Yeah, totally.
I like this. We'll write it.
All right. We'll hit up
Movie's called A Recipe for Seduction.
Ooh, I like that name. A Recipe for Seduction.
Mario Lopez as the Colonel of all people. Dude.
KFC or Popeyes?
KFC.
You're asking what I like better.
KFC or Popeyes?
Bro. Ooh. Well, I mean, I've had more of KFC. Popeyes,
Why is that? Why? Because just like location-wise, it's
Yeah.
area?
And Popeyes, when I was at SC, I had Popeyes more because South Central.
What I like about Popeyes
Sure.
is it's always in a bad location.
Yeah.
And it's a little scary.
They're usually in
Every
urban
time we go
locations.
to every time you go to Popeyes, you're always like, this feels unsafe.
Yeah.
I bet the chicken is good.
There's a lot of viral fights.
The floor's sticky.
Floor sticky.
Yeah,
It's
and
usually a red
and a couple.
flag.
There are a couple lights are always out. It's never fully
Somebody's
illuminated.
asleep.
Yeah,
Mashed potatoes are cold.
freezing.
The gravy is not gravy.
No,
Hey, can I get some real gravy? You ever
they're
go?
like, we have shoe leather. You're like, well, let's put that. Yeah, warm that up. Put that on there. I'll eat it.
Is that all you have? Yeah. But then there's the KFC is. I mean, Wendy's just came out with a bucket of nuggets. You want to talk about, dude?
A nugget bucket?
Careful.
Sorry.
There is no stopping America's fast food fatty ideas.
It's the greatest country in the world.
Dude,
Let's go, dude.
We're just thinking. We're constantly sitting at home being like, could I suck that? Could I fuck that? Could I eat that?
Yeah, and it's
especially-
usually the same thing.
Oh, dude. Anytime I think like, oh man, what a crazy notion or crazy thing. Like just then I thought of like a fat guy being so horny and so hungry, that he gets a warm bucket of mashed potatoes from KFC. And you know where I'm going with this. Say it with me, folks.
Eats it.
Sticks his mouth in it after he fucks it.
Right.
And then I'm like, no, there's probably the fact that with OnlyFans and even Craigslist misconnection, there's so many of these things where you're just like, wow, I didn't know that was happening.
Oh yeah.
So now when I think of an idea like that, I'm like, oh, there's definitely a guy out there right now in
Fucking some mashed potatoes.
Lake
Duluth,
Sammamish,
Minnesota.
Washington, Duluth,
No,
Minnesota.
Definitely in Lake Sammamish.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Duluth, Minnesota.
Duluth, Minnesota. There's a guy doing that right now.
Probably.
The nugget bucket has 50 nuggets in it.
5-0. What's the highest denomination of nuggets that you can get from Chick-fil-A? Is it 50?
Those are good nuggets. The grilled chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. slap.
Chick-fil-A is number. What do you mean? They're nowhere near. They got to have a 50. I mean, McDonald's has a 50 bucket nugget.
Do they really?
I know it for a fact they do because I've gotten it before for a party. Unless they
Great
don't do
idea.
that anymore.
By the way, great.
But this isn't a party platter. I think this is just like just on the
On the menu?
Yeah.
Go ahead and look at the McDonald's menu and tell me there's not a 50 bucket nugget on there somewhere hidden.
Speaking of the menu, did you watch the menu show?
No.
You would love.
The menu show?
Oh my God.
I watched
Ralph.
the movie.
Oh yeah, with Ralph Fiennes. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you were
With
saying. I
on
thought you
the,
said TV show. I was
sorry,
like, no.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot it was a movie.
No,
Great,
no.
right?
Oh, such a good movie.
Yeah.
Take me there.
I know, dude.
I want to die on that little island.
We are.
What is it? 40. Wow, 10 shy.
How much fat in the 50 nugget bucket from Wendy's?
Oh my God, it's got to be so
I'm gonna
fun.
guess. I'm gonna say like gram. I'm gonna guess it's 100 over 100.
Oh my God,
No?
yeah.
Isn't like 4 nuggets probably like 10? I don't know.
It's got to be
15 grams of that in one.
Nugget or one bucket.
No, one nugget.
one nugget has 15 grams.
Oh,
That's one nugget.
Fuck, dude.
50 grams.
Oh God.
Let's go,
no.
dude. Let's go.
USA. USA.
What are we waiting for, dude? Let's turn up.
What are we doing?
Let's eat it right now. That you know what's so funny though, when people can eat all that. Like I see guys online that can eat like an unbelievable amount of food, and I don't get that.
mukbang videos?
I'll throw up. I'll puke everywhere. I see those guys. Have you ever seen that dude? There's a dude. I don't even know his name, but he eats. He does a fish tank filled with. Have you ever seen this? There's a guy on TikTok that does a fish tank filled with whatever they tell him to, and he'll eat the whole fish tank full.
So he'll fill it up with Campbell's soup or
Everything,
Doritos.
and he'll tell you how many gallons it is in the fish tank. Do fish tank guy? It's unbelievable. But one time, this guy, he's so loony. It was like energy drink, like maybe Celsius or something like that, and he drank it with a fork. Someone was like, "Drink it with a fork," and that's how slow. And it's a time lapse of it.
Oh my God.
And he does it. He drinks the whole thing with a fork. Do you see this guy's name? He drinks out of a fish tank. What's his name? By the way, that's what's gross about the internet. This isn't good. I'm watching. I love it. It's not good for me to see this.
Can't get enough. You just spent 5 minutes. You're not getting that time back.
I don't care. I don't need it. Who
need it.
cares?
Got enough
You know what I mean? Yeah. I got enough time. I'm dying. I got enough time.
I once ate Frosted Flakes with a fork when I was post college. Just
I've definitely
really,
eaten cereal
really
with a fork.
roughing it. Cereal was dinner. I remember eating a bowl of Frosted Flakes, sitting there, just come back from an open mic, bombed so hard.
Love those days.
And this was, by the way, I had waited at the Comedy Store for like 3 hours, and then I wasn't getting up, and I was just like, well, at least I'm playing Wolverine tomorrow. And then there's like, Tony was like, Adam, somebody didn't show up. You can go up.
You can go up.
I'm not in my space for that at all. But just you got it. Go up there, just bomb. It was everything I was thinking about doing. Everything that I was sitting there going over my 3 minutes for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Now it's just gone. So I get up there, I'm just bombed. And then Ryan O'Neill and Jeff Dennis, who were hosting it, would always roast and toast. Just roast and poke at any young open micer that sucked. And and it hurt for a while. But then I remember the first time I got off, and they were like, "Adam Ray, think you figured it out?" And I was like, "All right, that was cool."
That's
but man,
fun.
it hurt every time. I was just like, this is a negative place.
Yeah.
Like, I know I bombed. Do you need to say it again for them? So I remember just bombing and them just being like, Jesus fucking Christ. So like not even trying to make a joke. Just
Danish and O'Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sweet guys now. And, as time gets older.
They got you good early.
They got me good. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But, maybe better.
The intimidation back then.
And so
was
I'm eating the Frosted Flakes home from that. And, the slogan for Frosted Flakes, they're great. And in my head, not to be funny, I'm sad. I like heard that in my head. And I kind of went, and my roommate's like, what's so funny? I go, life.
He's like, no, that's Frosted Flakes. Life, we do have life
We
cereal.
do have
though.
life cereal, yeah.
You're like, listen,
any
dude,
more weed, man?
Don't do that, dude. Just smoke me out, man.
I lived with a guy that worked at AT&T, hated people, but was the top salesman. Go figure. And then a guy that was a sous chef at big restaurants downtown and was drunk all the time. So much so that he drove me in his truck to our landlord to re-sign for our lease. And he stumbles out the door and I go, whoop, you all right? And he goes, you all right? And I was like, Uber's not around yet.
Yeah.
I get in the car. We drive down Melrose, which is kind of a tight 2-lane on each side
Small road, yeah.
If you're going Melrose from La Brea and Melrose where we were, passing Paramount and you're going down and it's narrow. If you start speeding on the far right, dude, you're hugging that curb like a stepdad saying goodbye to his real kid. and he's going like 60. It's 30. And I go, whoa. I go, up. Just go, slow down. He's like, I'm good. And then we get in there and we sign the lease agreement, myself and the other two guys.
After we hit 4 or 5 cars and killed a whole family.
We killed a whole
but
family,
we did
hit
get
some
to sign
cars,
the lease.
ran through all the lights, but got there on time. And we get in there and we're signing the lease. And our guy, Gary Clef, guy looked like Professor X, but with maybe like, I don't know, maybe like a porn addiction. Glasses, bald head, talk like this. Hey, guys. By the way, you and I both are pretty good at emulating.
Yeah.
This is spot on. Well, I'm so fired up. You guys are going to stay in the building. This will be great. Bald glasses. Yes, of course, we know month to month. We'll keep it going. If anything changes, call me. You know how available I am. I'm a fun guy, but I also like to keep it clean. Business is first, but fun is also a big part of my... No one asked about that, Gary. Any other questions from here on out? And then Sean, blackout drunk. I'm like, no, I think it's pretty standard. You guys, whatever. Sean says his name. I won't say his last name. Sean raises his hand. There is some thoughts to seven pabbits. There is some thoughts to seven pabbits. And I go, I'll actually take this first. So now I just clock. He's blackout. So I'm like, I don't want to give off any reason for us to not be living here.
Yeah.
I was paying $640 a month
Wow.
from 2006 to 2014 when I lived there.
Wow.
In a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And my room was, and then I moved into the bigger room with a bathroom that was $840.
Wow.
Yeah. Not bad.
No.
On La Brea and Melrose, man.
That's pretty good.
And so I'm like, don't fuck this up. She's like, Tevin Pevitz? And I go, I'll take this. Sean's asking we have a friend named Tevin Pevitz. He's an up-and-coming recording artist. Can he come by and play? What's, I guess, the noise ordinance curfew for, like, living in the apartment? Because we want to give him his flowers, and he's a big Halloween party coming up. But Tevin Pevitz, what's your, And then Sean goes, no, just Tevin Pevitz. I go, pets. What's the thing on pets? Can we have a cat? Can we have a dog? What is it? And so I go, no.
Pets.
Tevin Pevitz has pets. And then he just kept like trying to like interject. And then finally I just fucking kicked him under the table and he looked at me and he goes, and I was just like, dude, like you remember Vince Vaughn and like fucking Wedding, lock it up, dude. Lock it up.
Lock it the fuck
Lock it up the fuck. Like, you lock it up.
You lock it up. No,
I'm
you
my
lock it
balls on the fucking table right now. What am I, you want to talk about
By
a
the way,
movie?
did you let him drive home?
We'll be right back.
In here, we pour whiskey.
I like to go out. I like to have some meals. I like to have some fancy meals once in a while. And if you're a foodie, which most humans are, I think, we need water, but we definitely need food too. I mean, it's the thing that I get the most excited about at night after shows. And you know, it can be a little expensive going out to restaurants all the time. Well, that's why there's Cook Unity. Cook Unity is the first chef-to-you service delivering locally sourced meals from award-winning chefs right to your door every week. And it's cheaper than other delivery options. That's pretty impressive. All right. Sometimes I'll go to a restaurant out of town and it is a big old bill. But, you know, kudos to the chef. You would love that at the comfort of your own home. There's no cooking required for a chef-quality dining experience right at home. Unlike other meal services, Cook Unity is a chef collective bringing exciting culinary talent straight to your table. What else do you want? The chef is coming to you. Not literally, but figuratively. Cook Unity works with some of the best chefs in the country to bring creative, delicious meals to you every single week. Every meal is handcrafted by chefs and made in local kitchens, not large production facilities, not those things you've seen on TV. It arrives fresh, never frozen, and you can keep it up in the fridge for 7 days. Cook Unity packaging is compostable, recyclable, and reusable. What's going on in here? How come you can't try this? I don't know what's getting in your way. Pick as few as 4 or as many as 16 meals per week. It's pretty fantastic. Also, what I love about it, they have vegan and paleo, pescatarian, gluten-free. They have all these options for people, so it's not just limited. And they have like the soy and dairy-free options and nut-free. Anything you need, they got it. You must try it if you want high-quality food right at your door from chefs. Not a cook, a chef. Experience chef-quality meals every week delivered right to your door. Go to cookunity.com/whiskey or enter code whiskey before checkout for 50% off your first week. That is 50% off your first week by using code whiskey or going to cookunity.com/whiskey.
Ginger. I like gingers.
So funny.
Dude,
You're like, well, I was drunk too. I mean, I wasn't as fucking as
that's how
him.
that is. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I did. I did let him drive me home. Jesus Christ! After all that, wild, dude.
One time I broke your door. Remember? That was that same
Same guy.
Yeah.
Same guy who he texted me. Yeah, we did after our Christmas drinking video, which you can find on
We got
YouTube.
so tanked, and then we locked ourselves. We locked ourselves
We
out.
got we drank I think 3 bottles of wine and smoked 3 blunts.
Yeah.
And recorded I think it's called Drunk Christmas album on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Very
Very Sloppy
Sloppy
Christmas.
Christmas,
It's one of the funniest things. People don't think we're really drunk, which is the
we
only
were
bummer.
cased, dude. We were gone.
And it was
Busted your face open.
I fell into a cymbal and sliced my should have sliced my open and sliced
No.
it.
You knocked over a cymbal. Your head hit the edge of the snare drum.
That's right.
Yeah, the cymbal fell with you, but your head hit the snare drum because it was a blunt smack.
Yeah.
I mean, it was loud.
And you just kept singing "Most Wonderful Time of the Year," and then I get up.
I didn't realize you were hurt. I just
yeah.
thought you fell.
Yeah.
I didn't see you. I thought, oh, he just lumped down on the ground, and then you got up. I was like, whoa, dude.
And then at the end, the ending is the best part. Well, it's all really funny. And we had a great time though.
So
and that's
much fun, man.
And then at the end, I'm just bleeding, and you're like, so funny, Wolverine. And then you go, and I go, oh, okay. And I go to the hospital. You go, no, you're good, dude. You go, super funny, dude.
It was so funny.
And then we go home to my place because we're like, now we want to fucking smash food and kind of
eat and get stoned again and talk.
and talk about
also, and we didn't drive.
No,
we did not drive.
No, we had my buddy.
No, we had your buddy drove us.
I think my other roommate.
Yeah, your other roommate drove us.
And
yeah.
so brought us home, and we had a good time, but the door was locked. So Andrew's like, fuck that. It was one of those things where you're like, door's locked. We want to get in. We know fun is just on the other side of this fucking handle. And Andrew Van Dam's my door down.
It was good, bro,
And
fun,
I
dude.
was just like, whoa.
Even I can't believe it worked. Do you know when you did something and you're like, in your mind, your drunk mind, you're like, it's going to work perfect. And then you do it, and it clearly would never work like that. When I did that, I thought, whoa, you can do that?
Yeah.
I thought that was just a movie
In the
thing.
movie thing, yeah.
Yeah.
You busted the door, and by the way, what does that say about how, protective our doors were?
Yeah.
But you gave it a good kick, though.
But it wasn't that hard. I mean, it was just a kick.
It should have given a little resistance,
Yeah.
but it just was like, yeah, come on in.
Yeah, your roommate was bummed.
And then I think, the guy who drove me drunk the next day was like, he came back and was like, what happened to the door? And I was like, we couldn't get in. We fucking,
Yeah, an interesting locksmith stopped by.
yeah. But then literally 2 weeks later, my roommate got into a debacle with a pizza delivery guy because he showed up with the pizza, and what happened again? The guy showed up with the pizza, and it in the car had slipped around a bunch. So all the slices, it was just
It had been smashed up against the side, like it was like as if you held it vertically or something. The pizza was smushed in sideways on the thing.
Yeah.
It was all...
Oh yeah, and this is what it is. So then my roommate goes, "I'm not paying for this shit."
Yeah.
And he was just like, "The fuck you aren't." And he was like, I'm not. And he fucking threw the pizza at the pizza delivery guy and slammed the door in his face. So the pizza delivery guy pulls an Andrew Santino and fucking kicks the door and breaks the door handle
Perfect.
off. And so then we get a text, my other roommate and I get a text from him being like, hey, just a heads up, got in a fight with the pizza delivery guy. He broke the door handle. When are you guys coming home?
You sent me a text, you're like, dude, I think we need to fix the door frame, the handle, the lock.
I think we actually need to move.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The good days, baby.
The best days.
The good days. Adam, I love you.
Is that about it? This was a good one.
Yeah, this
is
is so good.
By,
it's
we were
so
moving.
good.
This was Bit City today.
This is so good.
I pulled up that video and it ends with AdamRayTV.com.
Cool.
I plugged in that address to see if that was
Yeah.
and I was redirected to a foreign Denny's.
That's so funny.
Awesome.
Denny's.gt, whatever .gt.
Wow.
Probably
Well,
don't have
Google what .gt
No,
is.
I now have AdamRayComedy.com, where you can find all my tour dates, which, by the way, on the road from here until at least November. And
Plug
then Dr. Phil live theater dates will be announced very soon.
How fun,
If you want to
man.
watch all the Dr. Phil lives, they're on YouTube, on Adam Ray Comedy. That's my YouTube channel. Special is out now on my YouTube. Like and subscribe. I'm proud of it. It's fun. It looks great. It's funny. It's a good. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you feel good. And the podcast about last night. And I'm in a Paul Feig movie coming up in July with Cena.
You've done how
with
many?
your boy
of his?
Cena.
How many have you done? 4 with him?
Oh, maybe like 6 or 7.
Jesus.
With your boy Cena's in it. It's called Jackpot. And then I'll be on Impractical Jokers in July. But come out and see me on the road. AdamRayComedy.com.
Go see the boy, man. One of my oldest boys on planet Earth. One of my oldest friends. One of my sweetest little princes. And
I love you. And what I love about knowing you this long has been the commitment to excellence. Because a lot of people will come up in this business and go, all right, I have a funny idea, but how do I implement it? Do I go to the Laugh Factory? Do I scream the N-word? Or do I just sit at home and write and let things marinate? And yeah, I can wear cool shoes and drive a fancy car, but do I have substance inside of me? Could I put my finger in my butt? Sure. Could I put a thumb in someone else's butt? Maybe. Do I say my own name when I come? I have to, because it's the only way to get fired up about a Wednesday. I digress. I think if you think you can, you can't. And if a 24-hour fitness closes at 11, well, you have the grounds to burn it down. We'll be right back.
In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.